Hello guys, welcome to the Wednesday forecast. So let's get started, let's take a look at the market. What I can see right away that there has been nothing really major going on. We have been heavily range bound as seen on the euro and the US dollar. So if you squeeze in a bit, you can just see this doesn't look good. It just looks like a large flat range. One thing to note though, as I said yesterday, when I see a flat range like this, we usually start to trend heavily. So we usually start to get some really huge moves either to the upside or to the downside. So I'm being prepared for those, and I am waiting for a large impulse up and then a nice flag, or a large impulse to the downside and then also a nice flag. Also, I will be looking for a clean ascending and then a nice reversal that has more cleaner price action, because we do have these liquidity areas right here above this range, so above and below. Also, I will be looking for a descending as usual and then a nice reversal to the upside. So that's about it what I can say for the euro and the US dollar. And now let's move to the euro and the Japanese yen. Let's move the lines a bit. Looks like we are just breaking the lows with wicks and retracing. So this one looks very similar to the EU. We are range bound, so we are stuck in this sort of flat price action. And I am waiting for that, as I said, large push up and then a nice flag, or a large push down and then also a nice flag. And this is the same case. When I see this sort of consolidation, it's usually where the buyers or the sellers are accumulating positions and preparing for a really nice push. So what we as traders need to wait for, well, we need to wait for that nice push, and we need to be patient, because if we are trading a range and we are trend traders, we will just get a lot of losses. So it's important to know that this is very bad price action, but also indicative that in the future we probably will get a large push. Also, I'm looking for a descending and then a nice reversal up, or maybe an ascending structure like this, and then a clean reversal to the downside, so something like this. Also, what can happen on this particular pair, looks like we are getting this push, so we can get sort of a V, like a V reversal, and then a nice range continuation up, and then look for a flag to go long. So this is a common pattern where we do look at volatility, and then we look at if we get a range, and then we continue to the upside. Very high probability pattern. And now let's switch over to the Aussies. So the Aussie and the US dollar, this one actually has some potential. So this doesn't look that bad, it actually looks okay. Let me move the lines, especially if we get a clean close right here, which I will talk about in a bit. Let's just see where the price action is moving from, and it's moving from a descending structure actually. As we can see here, we had this large descending structure, which usually signals that price is ready to reverse to the upside and maybe start trending up. Something like this. And this is very interesting, because we are starting to get a push up. We are starting to get a nice move. And then we did get a small pullback, and then we continued up. So if we do get a clean close right here, if we close, let's say above here, something like this, I'm definitely looking for a trade. Since I know if we get an impulse, if we get a small pullback, one candle pullback, and then we continue and get a good clean close without the wick, it is a high probability trade on the Aussie and US dollar. So definitely looking for that sort of price action, which is just a break and retest. Also, I'm looking for a larger push up from this point. Just a second. A large push up and then a nice flag. If we start to ascend like this, I will look for a reversal to the downside, something like this. If we start to descend, I will look for a reversal to the upside. But these are all not that high probability scenarios. As I said, the highest probability scenario would be that this nice move to the upside continues and we start to trend to the upside. That would be very, very good. If we get sort of a V, something like this, then I'm looking for a range and a continuation to the downside as always. But yeah, that is about it. This one is showing the most potential out of all of the pairs as far as I can tell, and I do like this impulse, so let's see if we will get some opportunities to enter. If it closes like this, I'm sitting on my hands, because then we just broke the high with a wick, retraced, and we are then starting to just ascend, so there is no potential. It all depends on how the candle closes, and it's 13 more minutes, so we will see. And here we have the Aussie and the Japanese yen, which unfortunately is still stuck in this range, so it hasn't broken the low or the high. We had an indication that a range will happen in the prior price action, so a range was expected. We also got a V reversal. As we can see here, we got a V, and now we are getting that range, which was definitely expected. So what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for a large impulse up, a nice flag, or a large impulse down that breaks the low. Also a nice flag. I'm looking also for an ascending structure and then a nice reversal. And I am searching for a descending structure and then a nice reversal to the upside, something like this. Also, we need to be careful about the liquidity areas above and below. So we need to see what happens when the price reaches the liquidity areas. Does it just break and retrace? Something like this. Or does it actually break and give us some nice conviction? That is about it. This one is not looking that good. We are just ranging. So let's see what will happen. I hope you guys enjoyed the forecast, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Also, one thing to note, usually on Wednesday evening we start to get some nice moves. Mondays and Tuesdays are range bound. Then Wednesday evening we start to get some moves in the market. Thursdays and Fridays are usually the best days for trend traders, as far as I can tell from my backtesting and from my experience. So definitely something to keep in mind and be more alert on the later part of the week. That is it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.